Hello and welcome back. My name is Daniel and this is a series of tutorials about Patternade. Right now we are going to talk about pattern grading. Now pattern grading is a paid upgrade, so it's not available to everyone. But for those that would like to pay for that upgrade, I'm going to show you how to use it. So first of all, I'm going to remove the seam allowance across all of the pieces. And this is just because it's easier to see the grading without the seams interfering. So we open up the pattern grading option from the settings panel there, and we have an instruction to how to get started. The pop-up is asking us what is our base grade, and that is basically what is the grade that we see on the artboard right now. It's good to start with a medium because then our grades can be either side of that. So I'm going to leave it as medium, but we could change it to M or base or mediana or something in a different language as well, but I'm going to leave it in medium and in English. When we get to the next screen, it's asking us to, allowing us to add a grade here at the bottom. I'm going to add a grade that's larger than the medium. So I'm going to add the large grade. I'm going to choose a color, and this time I'm going to make it olive. And here I have to choose my offset. Now that is the amount in my unit, and I'm currently using centimeters, from the base grade. So if I choose 1 and click the add button, that means that I will get 1 centimeter added all around my base grade. I'm going to, just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to add small as well. Small, and I'm going to choose green. And that can be -1. That means that it's going to be -1 smaller across all of my sides. That will actually result in a pattern that is 4 centimeters smaller across the entire width. After clicking save, I do actually see that pattern has had grading added. If I zoom in a little bit more, we can see that it has had a 1 centimeter added all the way around the outside. Now, for those of you that understand what grading is, that is not grading. That's just a preview. To finish the grading, we actually need to manually set the points all around the piece correctly. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. With one of the points selected, I'm going to see that there is the grades listed on the right hand, and they are all grayed out. That means that they haven't been manually edited yet. So I'm going to add proper settings all the way around the outside, and if I select that again, I can see that those colors have changed. I can go all the way around this piece, adding the grading correctly, and I'm just going to zoom in so that we get a better view there. Select the knots that we want to edit, and we can see the grades offset either side of our base. I'm going to change that to 1 and 1. And for here, I'm going to change that to 1 and 1 as well. This could get a little bit repetitive, but just hang in there, it will be finished very shortly. -1 and 1. Now, it's a little bit hard to understand sometimes why that's negative. That's negative because it's going in the left direction, and that's positive. Now, the Y is even a little bit more complicated. The small grade there is above this, so that's negative because it's going up. If we see those numbers on the left, they are actually going from small at the top to bottom at the big at the bottom. So that's why that is a -Y. I'm going to change those all again. 1 and 1. And we can, oops, sorry, 1 and 1, I made a mistake. And we can see that our grades are starting to look a little bit more like what we would expect. I'm going to change that to 0 and 0. And finally, these two are the same. The X is going to be aligned vertically, and the Y is now changed to Y, -1 and 1. That's how you would actually correctly set the grading on a pattern. And of course, true proper grading requires a lot more knowledge than I am sharing. I'm just sharing how to use the system. Once we are finished with our pattern grading, we can actually do a few more other things. Let's just say that instead of using the small grade, instead of editing the medium, I wanted to edit the small. I can change that radio button to change the base to the small and press save. And we can now see that the small has become the editable points. And I can now edit those directly, which I won't do. Now, that's pattern grading in a very, very rushed sense. For those of you that would like an even simpler approach to pattern grading, I'm going to create a new pattern now. And I'm going to choose the female t-shirt with those measurements that I have previously created. And this time, instead of actually setting up the pattern grading, I'm going to choose to use defaults. And that basically creates extra small, small, large, and extra large offset from the medium that I've created. If I click use defaults, we can see that's all been set up correctly. The extra small is 2 centimeters smaller than the base, so it has a -2. If I press save, we can see that those get applied everywhere. And as we see, we can also, it's a little bit hard to see with those seam allowances there, so I'm going to remove them too. So that is pattern grading. It's definitely a lot more to it than that, and we'll hopefully create more tutorials with time to go into that feature a little bit more. Thanks a lot for watching.